Hey folks, this is Mr. Michelson. I know some people had to go for the band thing today and they missed a little bit of what happened in class. So, just a reminder next class, you're going to have a test on your choice novel. What's on this test is things about your choice novel, and you can use your yellow packet to maybe help refresh your memory. We're going to ask you about setting. Remember, setting is time and place. We also want to know the characters in your book. So you should know the characters, be able to talk about protagonists, antagonists, and the things we took notes on with characters. Characterization, the 6 methods that we went over in class. Remember, we did that with Rikki Tikki Tavi. Conflict, external conflict, internal conflict. Think about those and know how they appear in your book. The 5 parts of the plot, that whole mountain graph. And theme. Theme is one thing that we talked about here today in class, and some people might have missed it, which is the reason I'm recording this for you right now. So on the back of your yellow packet, there's some notes about theme that I'd like you to take, and I'll just go through those with you right now. Key terms to know, a theme. The definition here is a message about life or human nature that a writer wants you to understand. Oftentimes, this is the thing that we take with us after we've read a story, the message, the perhaps lesson of the story. Sometimes those themes occur in several works. A recurring theme is a popular theme that appears in many different stories. You may think, oh, I think this book had a similar message to a movie that I saw. That would be where you see a recurring theme. So we'll get some practice with this. Just make sure you have these definitions on your yellow packet. A couple other things to know. Theme is really different than a topic. A topic is usually summed up in about 1 or 2 words. So a story might be about love, or it might be about friendship, or it might be about forgiveness. All those things are topics. They're 1-word answers. They're not the lesson. They're not a theme. It usually takes a complete sentence to get the message or the theme across. A writer's message about a topic is called the theme. So, what does the book say about forgiveness? What does the book say about love or friendship? Answering that question is going to give you a theme statement. An example of a topic might be second chances. Maybe a story is about second chances, and you might ask yourself, what is this book telling me about second chances? Example of a theme might be everyone deserves a second chance. That's how you express a theme. In class, I went over this story of the 2 frogs. You can pause your video here and read it yourself. But you might notice at the end, it says, it's always wise to think twice before you leap. This is one of those fables where the author sort of comes out and tells us what the theme is. But usually authors do not do that. Usually we have to kind of think for ourselves about the characters and about the conflicts and about what happened in the story in order to really figure out what the theme is for ourselves, because the author is not usually going to come out and tell us. So I'll give you an example of that. This is called The Carrot Seed. Just a little story for you. A little boy planted a carrot seed. His mother said, I'm afraid it won't come up. His father said, I'm afraid it won't come up. His big brother said, it won't come up. Every day the little boy pulled up the weeds and sprinkled the ground with water. But nothing came up. And nothing came up. Everyone kept saying it wouldn't come up. But still he pulled up the weeds around it every day and sprinkled the ground with water. And then one day, a carrot came up, just as the little boy had known it would. So thinking about that story, I want to really just kind of get a sense of what is it about. First of all, what's the topic? You might say this story is about hope, or it's about persistence, or it's about believing in yourself. Topics. I want you then to think about, what is the theme? What does this story say about believing? What does this story say about persistence? That's going to be the theme. So I'll let you think about that for yourself. And a couple more things to know about theme. They should be significant statements that the story is making about society, about human nature, about life. They should be things that can apply not just to the characters in our book, but to us as human beings as well. It's usually not stated in the story by the author, and it doesn't include character names or any real specific things to the novel or the story that you're talking about. Also, it must be a complete sentence. I think I've said that a few times now. So hopefully you get a little bit about theme. If you're looking for a theme, you can again find it where the characters are, What can the reader learn from the character's experiences? That might get us at the theme or the lesson of the story. What sort of conflicts are in the story? What can we learn from how the conflict in the story played out, how it was resolved? Think about that. That might be a good place to find a theme. Is it a character versus self conflict? Is it a character versus character conflict? That might be where you'll find that lesson. And sometimes the title even hints at the theme. So consider a title if you're thinking about a theme. What we did in class after we did a switch from Campbell to Michelson and vice versa is we got with those groups and I asked people to brainstorm a list of topics for the book, make a list of theme statements for the book. So thinking about those topics, what is the author really trying to say about those topics? And each group came up with a minimum of 3. And under each theme statement, I wanted you also to provide an example from the novel that proved that that was your theme, which is similar to what I will ask you to do on the test. So thanks for listening. Hopefully this gets you caught up after missing for that little band thing, or if you were gone for any other reason. Let me know if you have questions. You can certainly email me. Thanks, and have a fantastic day.